Am I the a-hole for not allowing my ex-fiancée to continue living with me after she broke off our engagement? My ex-fiancée ended our engagement because she believed we didn't spend enough time together, which isn't true. I worked in a family restaurant, and by the time she finished work, I wouldn't get home until 3 to 5 hours later, depending on the day. She wanted me to find a new job because she thought it was unfair that she worked longer hours than I did. Since I worked in the evenings, she felt like we didn't have enough time together. I used to tell my partner that I didn't want to quit my job and that it would actually be good for us to work together because we could spend more time together. However, she wasn't comfortable working for my parents, which I understood. She would sometimes complain about it, but I never thought it would lead to a breakup. She ended things, saying it was because of my work schedule, which confused me because I didn't work on Sundays or Mondays and had time to spend with her on Tuesday and Saturday mornings. I was really hurt, and even though she apologized, she said she didn't see how we could get married with our different work schedules unless I found a job that worked better for both of us. She told me that it would be best if we just remained friends. I reminded her that she knew about my busy schedule before we got engaged, and she shouldn't have agreed to marry me if she had a problem with it. She said she thought I would eventually find a different job. After we broke up, I tried to avoid her because I didn't want to see her. However, our living space was too small to completely avoid her, so I felt it was best for her to move out. When I told her this, she was upset. I also asked for the engagement ring back, but she got upset and said I shouldn't ask for it since I gave it to her and it meant a lot to her. I explained that since we weren't getting married, I wanted the ring back. She said I could easily afford to buy a new one and called me greedy. She told me that asking her to move out and giving back the engagement ring after being together for so long was really hurtful and that I should feel bad about it. I didn't change my mind, and she ended up giving back the ring and moving out 9 days ago. But she said that if I truly cared about her, I wouldn't have asked for the ring back and would have let her stay with me. She explained that she had a valid reason for calling off our engagement and shouldn't be left without a place to live because of it. She felt that the home was as much hers as it was mine since she lived there with me, and she didn't want to go back to her parents' place. I don't blame her for ending our engagement, but I wish she had told me sooner. My issue is that she still wants to live with me and keep the ring I bought. I work at the restaurant on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m., Friday from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. because the restaurant is only open in the evenings. She works from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and has Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays off. The top comments suggest that an engagement ring is given in anticipation of marriage, so if there's no marriage, the ring should be returned. Her expectations were unrealistic. It wasn't fair to break up but still expect to live together. It seems like she wanted to make it look like it was your fault. It's confusing why she'd want to keep the engagement ring and continue living together after calling off the wedding. It seems like she was trying to manipulate the situation. It's probably better for you to move on from her. She doesn't seem to be thinking clearly. Was he suddenly supposed to say, "Oh, I prefer you staying here and keeping the ring, even though the sight of you really hurts me"? Or was he supposed to suddenly have an epiphany that his job needed to be changed, and how awesome she was right there still when he got a new job? She's manipulative. I don't think she really expected them to break up. Really break up permanently. Next story. Am I the a-hole for reporting my fiancée and her lover to the FBI for credit card fraud on the offense platform? Not too long ago, I was in a serious relationship. My girlfriend appeared to be the perfect life partner, beautiful, intelligent, and admired by everyone who knew her. She always had great business instincts and seemed like the woman of my dreams. After being together for 2 years, I proposed, and we planned to tie the knot in Bali in 2025. However, in March of this year, I started noticing some concerning changes in her behavior. She began arriving home 4 to 5 hours late, often with explanations that didn't quite add up. Lately, I've noticed some worrying changes in my partner's actions. She's been going out of her way to keep her phone screen private, and she's putting a lot of effort into her appearance, almost to an extreme level. I had a feeling that something wasn't right, so I secretly put a device in her car to see where she was going. One day, I saw that she was in a rough area far from home. I hurried there and found her with another man, kissing passionately. I stayed calm and decided to talk to her later at home. When I got back, I found her in the kitchen, preparing dinner. After a long and emotional conversation, she finally admitted to me that she was having an affair. To make matters worse, the guy she was involved with was using stolen credit card information to fund her online accounts and profit from them. I pretended to be okay with it, but I secretly reported her to the authorities. A week later, she was arrested by the police, and later the FBI got involved because her partner was part of a bigger online scam. The other day, my ex-fiancée, who is currently out on bail, called me and blamed me for ruining her life. She said I overreacted by getting her arrested and should have just broken up with her instead. I'm wondering if I was in the wrong for involving the police and the FBI. What do you think? Scammers can suffer consequences, just like cheaters. Thank you. She messed up her own life by doing something illegal. The perpetrator. You're a hero. Absolutely, ops. Many people overlook the wrongdoing of someone they love, fearing that they'll be blamed for the consequences even though that person brought it upon themselves. And not taking action on the other's part makes them just as guilty of the act as the perpetrator. Good luck with the hunt of a decent woman deserving of UOP. Not a-hole. The person in the story did some things that weren't very kind, so you don't have to feel sorry for her. It's also important to know that she wouldn't have been arrested if the police didn't have strong evidence against her. So, even if you had told on her, she might still have been arrested. Everything about this situation is really awful. She had a whole other relationship while she was engaged to someone else. This means that she might have exposed her partner to diseases from the person she was cheating with or that person's partners. Also, she created a pornographic account online with the person she was cheating with. It's just really bad because she committed multiple crimes. It seems like she may have been involved in stealing and money laundering with a group of scammers. This could be connected to organized crime, and she might be subject to recall laws. It doesn't seem like she's a good person. I hope he gets better and finds someone who treats him well. Next story. Am I the a-hole for blaming my wife for our homelessness and yelling? What the heck did you think was going to happen? My wife and I are having a tough time with money, so we moved in with my mom to get some help. It's been hard for her, but I'm really surprised by what happened. My stepsister's wedding was a big mess because she didn't invite my mom. My stepfather refused to go without her, which caused a lot of drama. It was tough on him, but he didn't want to give in to his kids' demands. My wife was upset because she believes that your kids should always come first, and thinks that my stepfather's behavior was really bad. I agree, but it's also not our place to interfere. My wife took some photos of him on the day of the wedding to prove to my stepsister that he wasn't feeling sad. He was just hanging out with my mom, and in one of the pictures, he's laughing. But I find this really uncomfortable for a few reasons. It's not cool to secretly take pictures of people, especially when they're not properly dressed. There's one where he's clearly drunk and only wearing his boxers. And no, he doesn't usually walk around the house like that. In another, my mom appears to be wearing his shirt with nothing under it, so it is just weird. Also, we are guests in their home. Well, his daughter sent him the pictures and said she was glad he had his whore to comfort him. He realized what my wife had done and blew up. He called us ungrateful leeches, called her a bee, and he threw our clothes all over his lawn. I'm furious. Living with them was a great chance for me to get back on my feet financially, but things went south. I lost my temper last night and blamed her for everything. She's really mad and says I shouldn't have spoken to her that way, no matter what she did. Now for the top comments. So your wife spied on your parents, waited until she could catch them in an unflattering moment, took their pics without consent, and then sent the pics to someone to feed their rage. Your wife is an a-hole. The photos aren't just bad, they're really creepy. Neither of them ever walk around the house like that, so I can't figure out where the pictures were taken. She says it was in their bedroom sauna, which means she was literally spying on them. I'm just curious what she thought would happen by taking those pictures. What did she hope to achieve, other than causing drama and problems within the family? She just wanted to show that he isn't the great dad he pretends to be, because he always puts my mom first. My stepsister thought he was at home crying, so she wanted to prove he wasn't. But not everyone shows their feelings openly, and he did seem sad that day. Why is your wife getting involved in their family business? It wouldn't be her concern even if they were full siblings, let alone step-siblings. I can't imagine meddling in someone else's family matters, especially when they're providing me with housing. Some people lack self-preservation instincts, and your wife seems to be one of them. Why are you still with her? That was my initial thought. My second thought was, what did his parents do to make the stepchildren and his wife hate them? Sometimes people don't have to do anything to be disliked. A friend's parents got divorced about 20 years ago. Then, 5 years later, the friend's mom met a really great guy who had just moved to town from a different state. He was independent, kind, and caring. However, when the friend's little sister, who was around 20 at the time and away at college, found out that her mom was dating, she instantly disliked the new guy without even trying to get to know him. I came home for a break, and the first thing my friend did when she walked in the door was start throwing objects at a guy. The neighbors called the cops, and she got arrested. I think my friend moved to the other side of the country, so I don't talk to her as much now. She hasn't been in touch with the family since she was arrested. By the way, I should probably reach out to the guy. It's been a while since we talked. Last story. Am I the a-hole for threatening to call off my wedding after my fiancé slapped me? So my fiancé, 24 female and I, 28 male, are supposed to get married in 6 months. However, something happened that made me reconsider and it's kind of blown up. I recently had a disagreement with my fiancé over something small, and it escalated into a heated argument. She ended up getting really angry and slapped me. I was shocked, and I told her she needed to leave. After some initial refusal, she eventually left to stay with her sister. Now, I'm thinking about ending the relationship because she got physical with me. I'm stunned by what she did. But now, everyone close to me is pushing back and saying that breaking up with her and calling off our wedding is an extreme reaction. She did say sorry, but I told her that it doesn't make a difference. My family thinks I'm being unreasonable for ending things over this, and my friends think I'm blowing things out of proportion. I had a conversation with someone about a situation involving my partner. They argued that if I had treated my partner the way she had treated me, she would have had every right to leave me. They claimed it was different because I'm bigger and stronger than her, and she could never overpower me physically. They accused me of using therapy language as a weapon and trying to claim the experience of domestic abuse victims, even though what I went through doesn't compare to what real victims endure. I feel like I'm losing my mind and questioning my judgment. Am I at fault here? They also warned me that I should end the relationship because my partner's behavior could potentially harm future children if she gets angry. They said that her actions reveal her true nature, and that her behavior of hitting in anger is not acceptable. It's clear that the situation is not safe for any children involved. The person who wrote this message is also not safe. No one should have to stay in a relationship that is turning violent. Once physical violence happens, the foundation of the relationship is seriously damaged. The writer is being encouraged to end the relationship, as it's concerning that others are trying to make them question their own feelings. Many people still wrongly believe that it's acceptable for women to be physically abusive to men, but it's never okay. It's truly terrible that this happened to the writer, especially at the hands of someone they cared about. At the very least, it's advised to delay any decisions. The writer personally doesn't trust anyone who tells them to accept being treated this way. Sometimes it's not just about ending a relationship with a partner who is mistreating you, but also about distancing yourself from people who think it's okay. Abuse tends to get worse over time, and if you're considering having kids, think about how your partner might discipline them. Don't listen to anyone who tells you what happened is okay or makes you feel like you're overreacting. I went through something similar in college when my best friend got really drunk, started shouting and pushing me. Some of our friends thought I should forgive her because she's small and cute, and no one else had seen her like that. I gave her another chance, but she messed it up, and we're not friends anymore. The friends who took her side aren't in my life anymore, and I'm better off without them. The people in my life now would never support that kind of behavior. If you're worried about losing friends and family over this, just imagine yourself 10 years from now, proud that you made the right choice for yourself, no matter what others said. Even if your fiancée didn't physically hurt you, her actions displayed a huge lack of respect and a clear intention to harm you. This likely shattered your trust in her. If you feel the need to break up with her, follow your instincts. At the very least, reconsider getting married. Wow, I did not expect this to get so much attention. Thank you all for your feedback. I felt like I was losing my mind. I'm going to take some time to reflect on my next steps. Thank you for your support. Hey there, incredible friends. If you believe in the power of community and storytelling, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon to stay connected with every new story we share. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to continue this amazing journey with you. Thank you for being here, stay awesome, and see you in the next video.